Yes, I am back on Scrap Mechanic. It's been a few months, but after the latest update, I decided to hop back in and see how much survival has changed. The answer is quite a bit. One of the biggest changes in that update was the addition of oil ponds, and in this video, that's what I'm going to be looking at. If you do find this video helpful, please like, share, and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Let's get started. Now, like I said, the addition of oil ponds has kind of completely changed the game, and the reason for that is getting oil prior to this and then turning it into gas it could be a tedious process depending on how much you used. Now for me, since I kind of try to use fuel efficient vehicles and I don't go crazy, I never really ran out of gas, and I could get just enough by just searching, looting the large ruins around the map. But if you're kind of inventive and you build lots of big things, or you want to use thrusters for your boats or flying machines, I can definitely see how you're burning through gas. But the addition of oil ponds has made it so that you're probably never going to have to worry about that again. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get 3,000 gas per hour by setting up a very simple system, which you can get 100% AFK. So to get started, we're going to look at what you're going to need. And the first thing you're going to need is a level 5 craft bot. The reason you need the craft bot is to turn the oil into gas. And you want it to be level 5 because it reduces the amount of time it takes for things to be crafted. You're also going to need a vacuum pump, which is right here. You need this to suck the oil out of the oil pond and into a chest. So you're going to need 2 to 6 chests. One chest has to be hooked up to the oil pond, or to the vacuum pump, which is in the oil pond. And then you're going to need one for the output. And then the additional chest will be to collect the additional gas you're going to be producing, so it depends on how much you want. If you want to get about 3,000, like I said, you're going to need 6 because you're going to need 1 to collect the oil, and you're going to need 5 to output it. Each one holds 600 gas. You're also going to need a switch to turn the vacuum pump on and off, because you definitely want to turn it off when you're not nearby. You're going to need a few tubes. So depending on how you set it up and depending on how your pond is, all the ponds are different. They're randomly generated. I'll show you mine. For mine, I think I only need 2 of these corner pipes, but you might need a couple extras, so it's always better to take a couple just to see how you're going to have your system set up. And then you're going to need a couple stacks of building blocks of your choice. It doesn't really matter what it is. You basically just want to have it so you can build into the oil pond, and I'll explain that when I get there. And then a couple other optional things. You might want to have a bed. So if you're going to be AFKing this, you probably want to just set up a bed nearby or on the actual platform, your little oil rig, so that can be your respawn point just in case anything happens. You might also want a beacon. Now the reason for this is so you can easily find your oil pond, because if you're not familiar with the map, it might not be easy to get to, or if it's kind of like far away. In this case, I kind of know where it is, but I put it there anyway just so I know exactly how to get to it. And then last but not least, you might want a light, and by light, you could use the ones that you can craft, or you can just use one of these that you can find at the fruit stands around the map. And the reason for that is just in case at nighttime you want to keep it bright so you can see what's going on. And with that said, let's go head on over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive over there. And in this case, I already have one set up, so here's the little symbol for me. I just made it the little black water symbol, that way I know it's oil. And as you can see, it's over there, and it is about 2,000 meters. That's about a 2-minute drive, depending on how well I drive. And the reason we're going to drive over there is I want to show you what we're looking for. So just in case you're not familiar with what biome you can find oil ponds in, they are in the desert biome. They are randomly generated. So you may get lucky and have one close by to where the starting area is or where you're set up. In this case, it's not that far away, but we did happen to have a few desert biomes that are really close by the mechanic workshop, which is right over there. And I'm just going to show you those on the way over. And then we'll skip ahead and get to the actual biome. Okay, so we're just passing by the mechanic workshop, and you're going to notice up here, on both the right and the left, there just happens to be a desert biome. So when you're looking for a desert biome, you're going to look for these rocks here. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop up here at the top of this hill, because there's one on each side. We're just going to hop out real quick. Now, unfortunately for us on this map, these biomes did not have any oil ponds. So what you're going to be looking for is what used to be a water pond in here. And as you can see, there's none on here. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. But this is what you're looking for. This no grass area. I don't know if this is supposed to be dirt or sand. It kind of looks like dirt sand. And then you have these rocks. It's very obvious when you're looking for them. They kind of stand out. There's also one on the other side over here that does not have a oil pond either. So they don't always have them. If you get lucky, I know I've heard some people have said they've had an oil pond really close by to where they're set up, which is great. In this case, it's not that far away, so there's another one over there. So that's kind of what you're looking for. So let's hop back in, and we will skip ahead to the oil pond that I have set up over here. All right, so we're almost there, and the reason I started back up right here is because I want you to be mindful of what's around the oil pond that you're going to be gathering the oil from and converting into gas. So for example, I know that on this map, there are red farm bots close by. So for example, the one that I did all the videos on is over there. And there's usually another one over here up in the right. And sometimes there's actually one, that guy's over there. You can see him a little bit. Occasionally there is also one over here. So I kind of want to be on the lookout for that, because the last thing I want to do is not be paying attention and have one of those guys chasing me and then destroying my car. So there's not one over here this time. There's also hay bots around. So you just want to kind of be careful and see what's around to determine what you have to do when you're setting this up. You definitely don't want to go AFK and then have a red farm bot come over and destroy everything. So ideally, I'd probably put my car up there, but since I'm just doing this real quick, it doesn't really matter. Up there, you're going to see the beacon. And I put the beacon up on the hill just so it's safe. There's actually no way for the bots to get up there. This is a plateau that goes all the way around. And like I said, if I was sitting here in AFKing, I'd probably put my car up there. That way, nothing would happen, and I'd probably just sit up there because nothing would get me. So what you're going to see here is we have the level 5 craft bot, and I set this up ahead of time just in the interest of time. So basically what you want to do is you want to set this up in the oil pond if possible. If it's not big enough, I guess you could put it on the land. The reason I'm not putting it up here is because if I go AFK and a hay bot or a farm bot or a tote bot just happens to come over here, they will end up destroying all this. So I kind of have it in the oil pond. They will not go in the oil pond unless they see you. So you could just box yourself in. In this case, I'd probably just stay up there while this is going on. And the basic premise of this is I have a vacuum pump in the oil, so it's just got to be in there so I can suck it in. It's connected to a chest. And then in this case, I have a corner piece vacuum pipe that goes up into the craft bot. We're going swimming in the oil. This is a level 5 craft bot. And then this goes into a chest, so this is the output. This is where the gas is going to go. And then here I have set up a vacuum pipe corner piece and a vacuum pipe straight piece going into these other chests. These chests are all connected. So essentially I can turn this on and let it go. Each one of these can collect 600 gas. So if I let this run for about an hour, it will give, they will all fill up and I'll have about 600 gas. And then I have my bed here. And like I said, you can build this out of whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And we have a light up here. So I hook the light up to the switch. So basically all you have to do is hook up. You want to make sure the vacuum pump is sucking in. So it's green here. You can tell it's sucking in. And if it's not, you'll see the arrow. So the arrow will be, that means it's pushing it out. That means it's sucking in. You want it to be green. Hook that up to the switch. I hook the light up there. That way I know when the light's on, it's running. And also, if it's at nighttime, I can see what's going on. And a couple things you want to keep in mind are, this will, if you have this running, it will stop running if you leave the area. So I don't know if it's like, I think you have to be within the chunk or maybe within viewing distance. So like if I go way over there and start diving in the water or go in that warehouse, this is not going to run. You have to be nearby. I think it has to actually be within visual distance or maybe within a certain, maybe you have to be within the chunk. I usually try to keep it within visual distance because I think the further away, I think if you get out of the render distance, it just stops running. So anyway, how this works is we're going to turn this vacuum pump on. It's going to suck the oil into this chest. We're going to let it run for about 6 seconds, 5-6 seconds. This sucks in about 1 oil per second. And then this will craft the gasoline, which is over here under consumable. It takes 6 seconds if it's level 5. So basically what you want to do is let this get at least 5 or 6 of them in there. And then this will keep up because it'll suck in 1 per second. And you should never run out. If you're worried, you could always put a second one on there. But I tested it. You only really need 1. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on. And as you're going to see, here comes the oil. And we've got it set up so it's at about 6. Now we're going to turn on gas, and we're going to hit craft, and we're going to turn it on. And this takes 6 seconds. So once you start it going, you're going to get 10 per minute, which ends up being, was that 300 per 10 minutes or 3,000? Or is it, it ends up being 3,000 per hour if you just let it sit here and run. And then it outputs over here. And then you can basically just sit here. I set my respawn point, and I can just sit here and AFK, and I'll have 3,000 gas in about an hour. Now, if you want to make it faster, you could just add another craft bot. Adding a second craft bot will half the time. So you could get 6,000 an hour, or you could get 3,000 in 30 minutes. It depends on what you want to do. Honestly, 3,000 gas is going to last you quite a bit of time. And as you can see, this thing is sucking in more oil than this can put out. So it'll be a perpetual cycle. This is all you need. You will never, as long as this thing's running, you're never going to run out. And like I said, a couple of things. When you're not using this, make sure you turn the switch off. Anything that you leave running, even if it's not actually running in the game, could cause performance issues. So I always recommend turning anything off. And if you wanted to be really safe, in this case for me, I'd probably I'd probably take my car and go up on top of this plateau. That way I would be safe in case any bots happen to come in the area. And they shouldn't mess with this because it's not connected to the land at all. It is connected underneath. I have some beams down there that just hold it in place. And yeah, that's it. So basically, this is a way to get more gas than you're ever going to need. You'll end up getting 3,000 per hour. You will probably only need to do this very infrequently. I was using a boat the other day, and I was burning through gas pretty quickly, but I ended up having so much gas that it doesn't even matter. So if you just run this like every couple days, maybe in-game, or once a week, maybe even once a month, it really depends on how much you're playing the game, oil should never be a problem. Now, honestly, for me, because I'd like to keep the game more balanced, I think this is kind of unbalanced. When they increase the amount of oil you get from the oil drops underneath the water, I thought that was kind of like moving in the direction of being slightly unbalanced because it was very easy to get a lot of oil. This is making it super easy because, as you'll notice, just like when there's a water pond, you will never run out of oil. This oil never drains. I think it'd be cool maybe if they added a mode where, even if it was just a hardcore mode or something for survival, but ideally maybe for all survival, or maybe the oil drains and then you have to actually extract more to fill the pond back up, or maybe it drains and then fills back up over time. Because what this is going to end up doing is basically making oil a resource that you're never going to need to farm again. I run this one time, sit here, go do what I'm doing around my house or go do something else, come back in an hour. I have 3,000 gas. That's enough gas to last me for probably 100 hours in game, if not more, especially considering if I'm driving around and looting the ruins as I'm playing, I'm going to end up getting more gas. So anyway, if you liked the video, make sure you click the like button, share it with any friends that play the game, and consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'm going to be playing Scrap Mechanic more often, so I should be doing videos on this. I'm having fun. We started a new survival multiplayer world with a couple of friends, which we're going to be playing on. So you can catch us streaming that live either on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you check my Discord out. There's a link down in the description below where I'll be telling you where I'm going to be streaming. I might be streaming on both. I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.